Hello. How are you? My name is Matthew. You are in the moment. Late night, 11 o'clock, Monday night. Third day of August, first show of August. Last time I was in front of the camera was a week ago this past Sunday. And I believe that date was the 26th day of July. So a few things have happened. I have some notes. I'm not going to be in here any more than 15 minutes. I'm just training myself to keep the shows compact. If you're in here live, I appreciate the live views. If you are watching this at your leisure, I appreciate that as well. So just some notes, and I'm really going to stick to the script here. I'm not going to get sidetracked, and I'm not going to do any weaving, any of that crazy BS stuff. So let's get to it. Truth from the booth, and I've put a post up. Go to my Facebook page, and everything that I'm going to talk about I've already talked about. Truth from the booth. I took a week off to just work on another project that I'm going to talk about here in a few moments. But tomorrow night at this time, I will probably just be finishing up my conversation with Greg Swan, who is currently living in Nelson, Supernatural, British Columbia. I have known Greg since 2012. He has been a quadriplegic since 2009. Lost touch with him being here in Halifax for the last 5 years, and he came up on my Facebook feed maybe a week and a half ago. And the post that he put out there, what he was sharing with the world, I saved it, put it on my Facebook page, which you can find probably in the archives. I don't know how that works. So I reached out to Greg and gave him the invite to share his story on Truth from the Booth, which he has agreed to do. So tomorrow night, 4-hour time difference. So I'm going to get home from work tomorrow night, usually about 10 o'clock. I get home and I will immediately do a FaceTime with Greg, 6 hours, or it'd be 6 o'clock in the Pacific time zone. We're going to FaceTime. I'm going to record that, and you can hear that conversation in its entirety. Brand new Truth from the Booth this Sunday on Folked Up Radio. It's a 10 o'clock show with a repeat at 6, and shortly after you can find that conversation on my YouTube channel. I just want to give a shout out to the 3 flooring guys that were in here on Friday. 6 hours, old floor out, new floor in. Now, what made their job that quick was the fact that they had someone like me living here who made sure that the whole square footage was bare. It was Tetris moving in the kitchen. I had things piled into the kitchen for like a 48-hour period, but just hats off and a big thank you to the guys coming in here, getting the work done. But a bigger shout out to Jen, who fired off a letter to the management company demanding that they get things done. And 3 of the things that were in that letter, check, check, check. Thank you very much. I just want to give you a comical, hilarious update on my attempt to volunteer with Eastlink Community Television. I went on their website, filled out a volunteer application. I told you about the virtual meeting that I had that only lasted 8 minutes. That's the last contact that I have had. That was July 8th. That's the last contact I've had with Eastlink Community Television. Again, I am looking to volunteer if there are any spots available. But the person I was talking to was more interested in doing a special or some type of show on me. So we had 2 completely different agendas. But I made the point to tell this particular individual to follow through on what you are telling me, because I've been here for 5 years and I've had enough people blow smoke up my ass and ghost me. So don't be one of those people. And he's doing exactly that. So that's the update on that. It's comical whether they get back to me or not. The last email that I sent them was, look, when you want to get back to me about volunteer opportunities, please do. I'm here. Changing gears real quick. And again, I want to keep this in 15 minutes. I got about 10 minutes to spare. Fantastic day yesterday out in the Spryfield area, working on a documentary with Mariah Baker. Great project to be a part of. I was the interviewer, and Mariah was the subject. But what the great part about this, there was 3 of us there. We did need a videographer. And when the videographer walked into Mariah's place, they looked at me and said, "I know you. I recognize you. Where do I know you from?" And Mariah said, "You know, he's online, does videos. Maybe you have seen Matthew online." Well, maybe. So a few moments later, getting cameras and lighting set up, and the conversation continues. And the videographer asked me where I work. And the moment I said that I did security at the Art Gallery of Nova Scotia, he's like, "Oh, that's where I know you from." Because the videographer is Keke Beatz. Keke Beatz was the videographer. So, and when he said that, I'm like, yes, because when Keke comes and does events at the Art Gallery, he has to come in through the security. So it's just a great afternoon with Mariah and Keke Beatz. So looking forward to that project. Glad to be a part of it. But just to put button on the seeing Keke Beatz again, obviously this flag behind me here, the original Matt TV, I guess it's this way here, the Matt TV Canadian Unity flag, first signature April 28th, 2017. It's now at 1,421. That 1,421st is Keke Beatz, and it's going on a bumble. So within the next 48 hours, I'm thinking the next time that I do a live show, this Canadian flag will not be with me. It will be on a mission to collect more signatures. And I might as well jump right to that. My goal now is to Canada's 160th birthday is coming up July 1st, 2027. 1,421 names on here. So the goal is to go for that 160, 140 mark to make sure that I reach 1,600. In a nutshell, I'm aiming for 1,600 names on the flag by July 1st, 2027. And I know that is possible just with the folks on where the flag is going and where I plan on taking the flag here within the next couple months. So I know I'm going to surpass, I know I'm going to get into the 1,500s real quick. Speaking of hundreds, I want to talk about the rats that I see on a daily commute going into the city. Here on Barrington at the shipyard, I'm always going south using the pedestrian path. Going into the city, we all know that there is an encampment. There are people in tents down over the embankment. A couple of weeks ago, coming home on a Friday night, like I said, I'm always coming home in the dark. A couple of Friday nights ago, it was just a ride of terror. I have a phobia of rats, snakes, and mice, especially in the wild. So a few weeks ago, it was a dozen rats, at least a dozen rats, large rats, rats that you could mistake for small kittens. So just at the tail end of last week, it's daylight. It's daylight. Again, remember my fear of rats. It's daylight. I'm scootering into work. I think it's like last Thursday. I'm scootering into work. I leave here about 1 o'clock. So I'm on the bike path and scootering in. Again, I can't go more than 15K. The scooter it's an old style scooter. It's got the 2 wheels, the frame, and a battery. There's not a whole lot of sparkle to it. It gets me from point A to point B. But again, I'm not going more than 15 kilometers an hour. And right now I currently weigh 155 pounds. So picture 155 pounds, me on a scooter doing 15K, hoping that I don't encounter a rat. Well, this particular day, I want to make sure, I don't want to go over here. 10 minutes, I got 5 minutes. Okay. This particular day, Traveling in, I see a large rat. Again, it could have been a small kitten, but I know it's a rat. Crosses the path in front of me about 30 feet. I immediately do not break eye contact with this rat. I think maybe it goes down into a hole. So I am laser focused on where this rat is. I get maybe 5 feet away. I notice that it's just hiding in the grass, and it decides to run out in front of me. Front tire, back tire. Yes, I ran over this large rat, and in my panic and fear, I tightened up, turned to the left to see where the rat was, only to hear it scream like a little baby, like they do, scurry off into the bushes down over in the embankment, and I pulled a bunch of muscles in the left side of my body. So just horrific stuff. For me, a phobia of rats, my worst fear just came to fruition just like 72 hours ago. So I call that Apollozza on Barrington. And when I was coming home tonight, again in the dark, and I saw unsuspecting people walking. I almost want to tell them, like, go through there with a flashlight. At least you can see their beady little eyes hiding off into the grass. It's just horrific. Maybe I'm being hyperbolic. I don't know. Maybe I'm being a little too much. But I don't like rats. And I certainly don't like the sound of running over them. Thank you very much. We had an incident at the art gallery today. If you are of the general public and you are in a facility, please respect the policy of no smoking. Some buildings are incredibly sensitive, and the newer buildings, there's just sensors and fire detectors everywhere. So don't be a jackass and be smoking inside of public spaces. And I mentioned the 1,600 names. Okay, that's all I had. There's the proof right here. These notes right here, I'm gonna put in the comment section here, or in the information, just to let you know what I'm doing here. But the big news is brand new truth from the booth. Brand new truth from the booth this Sunday, Folked Up Radio, and a big shout out to Mitch Bigger. Wonderful, just a wonderful individual, a great community individual, and I'm just proud to be a part of Folked Up Radio, Canada's #1 folk station, 162 countries around the world, not across the world, around, because it's a globe, because planet Earth is a globe. Okay, notes are done. Thanks for the live views, and if you're watching this at your leisure, I appreciate that as well. If you were one of those individuals that lasted more than 3 seconds, thanks. Okay, enjoy the rest of your Monday night. My name is Matthew, and you are currently caught up in the moment.